They do not only promote good quality of the food but also they make to promote the brand. The typical camera depth used in videography is based on the premise that the cameraman will maintain a step away from the video subject.
The settings in Quentin Jollibee Valentine series, those scenes happened in two different places, which is the Jollibee and the church. First, they see each other in Jollibee and the guy assuming that the girl is the one who meant for him, but at the end of the day, the girl married another guy and it happened in the church.
The sound used a lively mood at first, but then gradually transitioned to kind of lonely music so that people could understand what was actually going on behind the happy vibe. The editing used for the video is to create a flashback memories and story.
Captions were presented in a readable, simplistic way, while the intro and outro cards were also presented in the way but by using restaurant brand names and font. Headline: Jollibee Bow Valentine series, which made us curious about this ad, is all about especially teenagers who are curious about sex love.
Color. The colors shown throughout the commercial are warm tone colors, mostly showcased in the timestamp 7 seconds to 23 seconds. At the beginning of the commercial showing the scene of the wedding, the warm colors highlights the romantic mood of the scene at the church. In the timestamps 24 seconds and 58 to 58 seconds, the scene where they are reciting the same order at Jollibee, the tones of the colors switch to a much more cool tone that showcase the refreshing growing connection between the two protagonists of the commercial as they first met each other at the timestamp 59 seconds to 1 minute and 6 seconds, in the scene at the church, it switches briefly to warm tones to highlight the genuine love and happiness both protagonists are feeling at the day of the wedding. It immediately switches back to cool tones when the scene goes back to the day they were starting to get to know each other and build their relationship at timestamp 1 minute and 7 seconds to 1 minute and 11 seconds. The cool tones also helps audience to distinguish the difference in present and past time through the warm tone that indicates present time and cool tone that indicates past time. At timestamp 1 minute and 12 seconds to 1 minute and 16 seconds, the color of the scene became warmer again as it zoomed clearly show the audience the fulfilling smile of joy of the bride. At timestamp 1 minute and 17 seconds to 1 minute and 26 seconds, it shows again the past time through cooler tones indicating the scene is showing the past, early or beginning relationship of the bride. Momentary clips of the early stages of the relationship were shown and cool tones help highlight the refreshing as well as romantic aura of the scene. Throughout the whole commercial, I analyzed that the two tones of colors I have mentioned were constantly switched to match the aura and time the scenes were indicating to help highlight the emotions the commercial wanted the audience to pick up through constant changes in colors through every scene. Props. As for the props used, it all fit the scenario well. The props helped aid the scenes to showcase the early stages of the relationship shown in the commercial until the props that were used to show the final result of the relationship and the wedding.
Depth of fields or DOF. So DOF is one of the most important concepts in photography. Understanding what DOF is and knowing what factors affects it are things all photographers should master. Many photographers know that you can control DOF by adjusting aperture. But did you know that DOF is influenced by other factors too? In this article, I want to explain in the terms what depth of field is, talk about the ways you can control it. The examples of depth of fields is the camera subject distance, focal length of the lens, sensor size, determining depth of fields, or aperture. So what is depth of fields? Depth of fields is the distance between the closest and the farthest object in the photo that appears to be acceptably sharp. Now your camera can only focus sharply at one point, but the transition from sharp to unsharp is gradual, and the term acceptably sharp is a loose one, without getting too technical. So next, let's talk about lighting. So, what type of lighting is the best for photography or videography? Lighting tends to affect the colors, tones, and mood when it comes to photography. Therefore, the kind of lighting often depends greatly on the kind of light. What are the three types of lighting in the photography? The first one is key light. The second one is fill light, and the third one is backlight. They are the main types of lighting.